Hello everyone, it's time for another Messer tutorial, and this time we'll be tackling an all-time favorite fight opener of mine, the Entrüsthaw or beleaguering cut. I just love this for Bogenhau or hidden cut, quite simply because it is so versatile. It allows you to be covered against pretty much any cut from above, while at the same time generating a lot of threat close in, allowing you to really set up any type of grapple that you want from there. It has one weakness though, and that is its short range. Opening with the Entrüsthaw requires a really good management of distance, and that's what we'll be practicing today. We'll keep the options relatively simple today, because practicing that skill will quickly get physically very intense. But that also means that you'll quickly see that skill carry over into your sparring if you do it correctly. So let's first put the messers down, practice the skill in an unarmed environment, then go over all the options and then combine the two. The drill without weapons is pretty simple. You walk up to your coach, who then either stays or takes a step back. If they stay there, you get to tag them on the shoulder. If they step back, you will also reset, because trying to tag from there anyway will leave you horribly exposed. This drill will prime you to only go once the situation is in your favor. In all other situations, it is a no-go, meaning you should take a step back and reset, perhaps even re-strategize. By the way, another cool game to help you practice this skill is the rock, paper, scissors tag that I talked about a while back. Here too, not every option tells you to go. Sometimes it's best to hold or even retreat. This tactical skill is of special importance to the beleaguering cut, because it is short and depends on proper commitment to this cut. Lecküchner opens the Hauptstück on the Entrüsthaw by giving us an option to cut against an opponent in Lugensland that does nothing, and against an opponent that cuts from the same high guard. Although he tells us to especially stretch out the arm when catching a cut from above, there's pretty much no other differences in the mechanics of these two versions. So the implication is that you can always prepare an Entrüsthaw if you want, and then execute it either when you get in range or when the coach cuts from above. Before you practice this though, it might be a good idea to first go over the mechanics of the cut a few times. Although I find that people quickly get the hang of it usually, it does often require a few helpful cues to get there. First, you approach from pretty much any guard you want, although personally I have a very clear preference for low guards. As opposed to longsword, you have only one hand on the weapon to power the cut, so it has to come from the body. Therefore, we load it up by pointing the point towards the ground, with the thumb on the flat, effectively turning the blade 90 degrees in the hand. From there, let yourself uncoil, as it were, letting the blade travel in a circle until it comes into the horizontal plane above your head. With this cut, making your movement a bit bigger will not only generate more force, but it will also often be faster than done just from the hands or arms. So don't make your movement too small. Once you figure this out, practice the Entrüsthaw with your partner, both against an unresponsive and against an attacking coach. After this, we get to the moment to bring this all together. So first you perform the drill as previously, with only this little thing added to it. If the coach takes a step back when you approach to do the Entrüsthaw, you also have to retreat. Now practice this until you react quickly to this input and feel you can make the call for a go or for a no-go without hesitation. Once you're comfortable with that, we can add another layer. So when retreating from an exchange that appears to become unfavorable, you can of course decide you want nothing to do with this exchange anymore and that you want to start all over again. But you can also decide you want to keep trying until favorable extra circumstances materialize, which is pretty much what we did in the previous exercise. Whatever your decision though, it is important to not let your guard down, because this moment of retreat might sometimes be a very clear cue for your opponent to start an exchange on their terms. If you do have a trick up your sleeve in that moment though, you will definitely be able to take advantage of both the element of surprise and the better structure of a stationary fencer. You can train that as follows. Do the exercises before, but now when the coach steps back and you retreat as well, the coach can then step forward and try and make a cut from above at your head. When they do that, cut the Entrüsthaw and hit them as you originally intended to do. Of course, it is a good idea to first practice only this situation a few times. After which you can make it more complicated by adding in all the other options from this training as well. From there, as always, move into slow free play first and then into full-on sparring. And then rinse and repeat if necessary. I hope you enjoyed this lesson on initiative as exemplified by the Entrüsthaw. So enjoy training, and if you have any questions, let me know. And if not, until the next one. Cheers!